Welcome to Black People Love Paramore, a show about the common and uncommon interests of Black people in order to help the community feel more seen. Take one teeny tiny second out of your day, if you can, and rate and review this podcast on Spotify or Apple Podcasts. If you can, I would really appreciate it. It would really mean a lot to me. I am your host, Sequoia, and today joining me to talk about TikTok, we have award-winning journalist, culture editor at a very prominent outlet. I won't say which one because she does not say which one throughout the episode. And multimedia storyteller, Kaitlyn McNab. Enjoyed the episode. Okay, Kaitlyn, TikTok is one of my favorite topics to talk about, to consume. I might reference it as using because it really feels like a drug to me. I have tried to get away from this app time and time again, and it just keeps reeling me back in. It's so interesting, so entertaining, so fun. Do you have any favorite TikTokers? I can go first if you don't have any off the top of your head.
Yeah, you can go first for sure. Okay. It's your show.
Okay, cool. I just don't want to put you on the spot and you're like, you didn't give me any time to think about this, so I'll start us off. I have a few. Mojo, What Mojo Loves. Mojo is a wellness TikToker. She is a Pilates instructor. She reviews Pilates. Oh, if you're watching this on YouTube, you see that there's just a fireworks display behind me. I don't know what's going on. Anyways, she reviews different fitness classes and she'll tell you her honest thoughts about them. She's deep into wellness stuff, so I get all my wellness information from her, sleep information from her. She's fantastic. Love her so much. Love a wellness girly. Of course, the classic Monet McMichael. She's just so fun and relatable to me. I'm like, oh, you're just such a regular girl in a good way, you know? Obviously, yeah. I'm like, oh, I just enjoy. She's like my safety net, my safety content when I'm trying to just unwind. Eniola Papula, I think that's how you say her last name. Mm-hmm. Love Any. Her name is Any Given Sunday across all social media platforms. She's great. Fashion girly, beauty, makeup, all those stuff. Jody. I don't know Jody's last name, but Jody is great. Jody, she talks about how to become a socialite, and there's just so much to it.
Yeah, I know.
You do know? Yes. There's so much to it that you just would never thought about. Like, she's like, depending on what bag I wear, I'll get invited to X, Y, and Z event if I walk into certain stores. That's not going to happen if you're wearing X, Y, and Z brands. Like, I'm like, oh, there's a whole different world going on.
Yeah,
it's a whole formula that I'm just not privy to. I don't know, but she makes me privy to it. I don't know. I guess I'll be wearing bullshit because I've never been invited nowhere. And then there's Clark, of course. Clark started with A Date in the Life. I think that was the series that popularized her. And now we found out she was just genius. She was she like was an Ivy grad. She was in school at the time. She had gotten over $1 million in scholarships for college. There was just wild shit. It was like, wait, what? So Clark is great.
Her lore is deep. Yeah.
The lore is nuts. Like, I'm like, oh my God. Yeah. And then there's Justine's camera roll, teaching girlies how to become an influencer, and also her editing style is insane. And then last but not least, Taika Pride. And Taika is a designer for, I think she's designed TV stuff on Netflix. I used her when I designed my last apartment. She's fantastic. Or I worked with her when I designed my last apartment. She's fantastic. That's it. That's my list. That's my little list. We're starting off nice. We're starting off sweet before we get into the real nitty gritty of TikTok. Kaitlyn, do you have any faves that you would like to
So I do. I think what I think is hilarious is that I have a bad habit of like, if something comes across my For You page and I love it, I die laughing. I'm like, oh, this is it immediately. I save it to my likes, right? Because I will never find it again otherwise.
Yep.
And I will usually follow the creator, but then I won't remember their name. I only remember their faces.
Oh my God, so bad. Same.
So when I was thinking, I'm like, there are only a handful that I could really like name off the top of my head. But I feel like one of the OGs, Ricky Thompson, always one of my faves.
How did I forget Ricky? Yeah.
Ricky can do anything and I'll just like eat it right on it. I love, who am I loving lately? I feel like, one of my other faves is, oh my God, how do you pronounce his last name? Tony's
Tatovsky or something?
Yeah. You know, Black people. Yeah. Tony.
He's so funny.
Tony is actually probably in like my top 3.
Yes.
I don't know. There's just something about his humor that like his skits are just he doesn't miss. Like it's very rare for me to like click on one randomly and like not laugh. He's hilarious. So he's definitely up there for me. I love Sierra. Average Sissy. She's great. The one who does the daily affirmations. And she's like, you're doing great. You're doing amazing. You're wonderful. You're fantastic. She's also like really she's just a shining light, and she's always so positive, but like her content is just like definitely like a bomb, kind of like whenever she comes across my feed, I'm like, oh. I love the lady who tells you to do the Kegels. I love her. Did she come across your feed page?
No, the last two don't come across mine. Mine not focused on no positivity, I guess.
There's an older woman who will literally, she'll just be staring dead straight into the camera and be like, stop what you're doing right now. Give me 10. And she watches you, like the video is like 30 seconds long, while she's waiting for you to finish your 10 Kegels. She's like, okay, you did great. Go on about your day. Love her. Who else do I love? I love Aaliyah's face. I don't know if she's like OG YouTuber and stuff, but like she's just, I think TikTok kind of allowed her to like be more of herself too in like short form. So I really like her content. And you know who else is underrated? Keith Powers. Keith Powers is underrated with his little vlogs. Yes. He does like the vlog series, This Little Life of Mine. I love him. Love him.
Very cute. Him and Ryan Destiny. I love anytime they come up on my For You page. I'm like, these two. Yep. I love them so much. Those are good ones. I can't believe I forgot half of those. Tony Statovsky. I really don't know that man's last name.
Many.
He's so funny. So many. He is hilarious to me.
He is so funny. I just watched one earlier today because I was like preparing for this conversation. I was like, let me just like spend some time on TikTok. Yeah. And you know, it ended up being like way longer than I needed it to be. Naturally. And I watched one where he was talking about, it was like a conversation between two spiders. And he's like talking about how spider culture has been appropriated and how it's really, the root of it is arachnophobia. And it was just the stupidest TikTok, but it was so funny. Like, so I need that man to get some type of deal. I feel like he's still kind of like underrated, which is kind of strange.
Right? I'm like, do y'all know about him? Like, stop playing with Tony. He really needs
He's behind a few like trending sounds too. Like, I think he needs his flowers.
I saw T-Pain was in a video with him recently. It was like, and T-Pain quoted the, black people of it all. And it was good. It was a good little skit. I had a good time with it. So I've been on TikTok I've been a user of TikTok since like 2020, maybe? I think 2020 is probably the year a lot of us got on TikTok during the pandemic.
That was the year for me, for sure. Yeah, it wasn't, I knew about it, but it wasn't like nothing that I was like running to join. But then 2020, we was all in the house bored and I was like, yeah, I'm going to download it.
Right? Same. And before that, I thought it was kid shit. Like, I had gone on it for work. Right. I'm a social media strategist, so like I have to know what's going on in social. So I had downloaded it, and it kind of was kid shit. Like, it was kind of lame before 2020, if I'm being honest. It was like, it was cringy. It was kids doing cringy stuff, and I was like, ew. I can't be on here. Like, I want nothing to do with this. It was very much giving Musically still.
That's what I was going to say. Yeah, I feel like, because I'm a millennial, right? So it's like, it's hard being a cusper sometimes because there's stuff that like I really get, and then there's stuff that I really don't get. And it's like, ooh, the millennial is jumping out or the Gen Z is jumping out. And for me, like when I first heard about TikTok, I was like, it's giving Musically. And I had no interest in Musically at all. Like, none. Zero. Like, so I was like, I think this is, like, it's not giving Vine at first. I was like, I think I'm good to not partake,
Yes. Oh my God. So Vine. Let's talk about Vine, because I didn't even think about Vine when I was putting together this outline. But of course, how can you talk about TikTok and not talk about Vine? I feel like Vine democratized short form video in that it made it 100%. Accessible to a lot of people to make it. And then TikTok really took that shit and ran with it, because the benefit of Vine was that everything was super short, which made it difficult to monetize the app, I'm assuming. And I guess that's why it died. I don't really know. But black people,
I think that's a good theory.
Right. I would assume that's it. But black people loved Vine. I feel like black people over-indexed on TikTok, but we really over-indexed on Vine as users. Yeah. And
and there are just so many like faces. Yes, we're so funny. I mean, we run every single social media app, in my opinion. Yep. They would not exist without us. Nope. But like, there are just so many like comedians even today, or just like internet figures that would not have existed without Vine, that like started their careers off Vine. And even though Vine is dead, like they're still out here doing stuff. And I think that is like the coolest thing ever, because the app is dead, but their careers are still there, And I just love that's kind of like Vine's legacy, that it really platformed so many funny ass people.
Didn't Ricky start on Vine, or did I make that up?
I think so. Him, I know, like King Batch started on
Yep.
Vine.
Yep.
Who else? That guy that's on Wild and Out, Conceited. He started on
Oh,
Vine too.
Conceited. Yeah.
Yeah. There were a few of them that like just really put their all into those 7 seconds.
They did. And wait, they all really have careers now. Vine really was
Yeah.
that girl.
Right.
Did you ever
I
make
miss
some
her
Vines?
bad. I'm not gonna hold you.
Me too.
I did. They weren't
Yeah.
like good. I really wish that I had like the foresight to like save all of them before the app like really went offline. Like if I could just
Yeah.
log back in and save all of them. They were just like stupid stuff with my friends. Like it wasn't
Same.
anything. I wasn't going viral, you know, but
No.
but
Yeah.
I did. I love Divine. I love Divine. I don't know. I feel like I was an early adopter to like a lot of like the like audio visual stuff. So like Instagram, like I joined in like 2009 or 2010.
Oh, you were early.
Yeah, my mom didn't let me post nothing on it, of course, but like
Of
I was
course.
on, you know,
Yep.
because I used to be a fangirl, so like back in the day, like you know, I had to be on to keep up with
I love
with
it.
my people.
Yeah.
And like Twitter, same thing. I was on there in like 2009, 2010. I feel like the winter of 2009, and
Oh
then
my God.
Vine,
You were so
I was
early.
on.
And
Yeah,
so young
really,
also.
I love social media. Like, I was probably not. I probably shouldn't have been on there at that age. But like, it was just great. Like, it was just really entertaining things. And luckily, I'm very grateful that like I wasn't being fed anything like harmful. Like, I wasn't necessarily like, you know, because I feel like it's dangerous out there for kids now, and especially now. But I feel like
Certainly.
back then it just wasn't as intense.
I agree.
So it was like people could get their jokes off, and
Right?
you laugh, and then you keep
Yeah.
moving. Yeah.
Wasn't that deep. It's deep now. Wasn't that deep
It
then.
was so deep. Oh my God, it's so deep. It's so deep.
But when it comes to TikTok, same thing with Vine. TikTok has democratized content creation, which is good. But as a result of being able to blow up overnight, I feel like everybody's trying to grab your attention, even if it's at the detriment of other people, or everybody's just trying to grab your attention by any means necessary, which has made the culture of TikTok shift from what it was in 2020 when we all joined it to what it is now. And I'm not sure if I'm more addicted than I ever have been. But I don't
Really?
know if, yeah, but like by a long shot. It's actually sad. It's a problem.
Really? Okay, wait. So
Yeah.
walk me through like your TikTok usage. Like how often do you open the app? Like
Child. I
I
could
think
be
iPhones
sitting
like
right
give
now,
you that data.
and it might be open. You never really know. It might.
Not you're under the table
I'm
scrolling
telling
like
you,
that's
just me trying to put my phone down at night, but no. But
Oh
the
my
next video.
God.
But the next video. Like it's sad.
Yeah.
It's actually.
So
a
you
problem.
get those wellness check videos like often.
I got one
Is
the
it
other
like
day, and I had been
Okay.
scrolling. Okay, for context, I just moved, right? So our TV
Okay.
is not set up. And so my real only means of entertainment right now is
It's
TikTok
TikTok.
or
Yeah.
YouTube or whatever. So I'm always on this damn phone. I'm scrolling for an ungodly amount of time the other day. It was at least 3 straight hours that I had just been scrolling. And then I get one of those videos and I literally jumped. I was so mad. I felt attacked and ashamed.
That's the point.
Yeah, right? Like literally she said, "Hey babe, I'm going to hold your hand when I say this. Get the fuck off the app. You're doing too much." And I said,
Touch some grass.
"Go outside and touch some grass." And I said, "Wow." And then I scrolled past her and kept fucking going. So
Yo,
that
those are the worst moments though, because like I remember one time I was on TikTok, had to have been like you, like 3 to 4 hours, and I was in my bed. It was like super late at night. It was like easily 3 o'clock, and I got the one that was like, it's a guy, and he's like, "Hey, like, how are you doing? Just checking in on you. I think it's time to go to bed now. So maybe drink some water, get up and stretch, and go to sleep." And then I just went. And I just kept going. And then I didn't go to sleep that night until probably like 5. Like, it's so bad. I appreciate that they have those in place. But like, I kind of feel like they should also give you the option to like do like an auto lock or something. I don't know, because
I agree.
I don't know.
just
The
won't.
endless scroll is dangerous. Like,
It is. All you did was shame me and embarrass me, but you didn't stop me.
Right.
If you really wanted to stop me, you would turn the damn app off, but you didn't. You just wanted to say you did your part, but you didn't. It wasn't effective. Okay.
It wasn't. It wasn't.
But yeah, the culture has shifted a lot. What do you make
It
of
definitely
this
has.
TikTok culture?
Yeah, it definitely has. I think I totally agree with you that I feel like in general it's kind of just following like the shift of social media right now, which is like everybody's it's I don't want to call it an echo chamber, but it's like everybody's just coming on to like say their things and then leave. And like nobody's really listening to each other either. So it's like I think the whole point, or at least the intended point of social media, was for us all to like communicate with each other. And like I feel like right now everybody's just like, I'm posting and I'm going. And it's sometimes good, but then other times, like you said, specifically with TikTok, like people are just like going up to people and like pranking them, or like the on the street interviews are just getting worse and more like hostile. And it's just, I don't know. I think everything doesn't have to be viral. I feel like if more people understood that like you still get joy from posting just to post, then we could maybe get some of that safety back. But at the same time, like people aren't thinking about joy, they're thinking about money. So I respect the hustle at the same time. I don't know. It's really hard. It's really hard. It's a fine line.
I know people think about money and clout. And you know something that I ideated the other day, and this comes from being somebody who has been making stuff periodically on the internet for a long time.
Yeah.
For context, I just turned 30 a couple months ago.
Happy birthday, belated.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I really feel like you should not be able to tweet a tweet, make a TikTok, make a Vine, make a YouTube video until your frontal lobe is fully formed. The way that I approach making stuff for the internet today versus the way I approached making stuff for the internet 3 years ago is dramatically different. And I really attribute that to the fact that my frontal lobe was not fully fucking formed. You can say all day, the people that you're talking about in your videos are real people. The people that you're discussing are real people. It didn't click for me for whatever reason. I really don't know why. Until maybe I was like 28, like going toward 29. Yeah. I was like, ooh. I think about it like this. Like, if you would not say this shit in public when that person could hear you outside, you should not say this shit on a public forum where this person could also hear you.
Because one thing about TikTok is those comment sections are the most ruthless, like just like pockets of the internet that I have ever seen in my entire time of being on social media. Like, absolutely, those comment sections, I'd be like, yeah, this makes me never want to post anything, like, at all, actually.
Yep.
I just saw a TikTok this morning where Aaliyah's face was like, y'all like when people share their business online, right? You like that. Okay, well then maybe you should keep your thoughts to yourself. She was like, put it in the group chat, because otherwise people are going to stop sharing their lives on here for entertainment. Because you in the comments talking up the side of your neck and you think I'm not going to respond to you? Like, it's horrible. It's actually horrible. And I don't know. There was one TikTok that I made that accidentally went viral and I had to turn my comments off because I was like, okay, this is getting like too much. It was just, and it made me be like, actually, I don't know if I want to be the main character on TikTok ever, actually. I'm okay with my little, like, you know, my little 100 views. Like, I'm good with that.
Never. I don't want to be the main character. Okay, wait. What was the TikTok? You don't have to say it. If you don't want to say it, if you're not in the mood.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
Oh yeah, what was it?
So basically, me and my two siblings and my mom, we got matching tattoos, and it's of the number 27 because the number 27 has like special significance to us in our family, and apparently, and this is the global magic of TikTok, right? Apparently, in South Africa, there is a gang whose number is 27. Who like it? They wear it, and like, you know, it's like a brand almost. So I am, you know, posting this from New Jersey, USA. I have no intent. I had no plans to go to South Africa in the near future. But we got bombarded. It almost has 1 million views. It has like 800,000. We got bombarded by South African TikTok being like, well, don't come here because you better watch your back, or like, this is the stupidest tattoo I've ever seen in my life. And I'm like, wait,
Oh
hold
my
on. Like,
God.
it was actually really crazy. Like, people were like, wow, I can't believe you would get this. Don't ever come to South Africa. And I was like, babe, I was gonna walk around New Jersey. Like, please. Like, I wasn't,
Oh
I
my
wasn't
God.
I'm not trying to get inducted into a gang either. Like, please.
I'm really
So
not.
it was just so unexpected and random that I was just like, you see, and this could happen to anything that I post. It could be a get ready with me. It could be like, I remember one of my friends, she had posted like her her new nail set and like how her nail tech did her nails, and it was like blue and orange, and people were in the comments calling her Tide Pod nails, and I was just like, oh my god,
This is too much.
Like,
this is too much.
people can't even share their joy.
Like basic nail set. Like, damn.
Y'all always got something to say.
You always got something to say. Do you want people to keep talking to you on this app or not? Do you want to stay up till 5 a.m. scrolling this app with content to watch or not? Which one is it? Do you want to be shamed by the TikTok wellness moderators or not? I would like to continue my shame.
I would
in
like,
peace.
right. I would like
Thank
that.
you.
I would like that.
Yeah, very much so. Speaking of people getting dragged on TikTok, I personally have been dragged on TikTok and other platforms, so I'm aware of the implications.
So
and how, that shit is not fun. It is extremely the opposite of fun. I do not fucking enjoy. I wish no one ever being the main character on any of these fucking platforms.
No.
Not a good time. Would not recommend.
It's really not. Whenever I like tweet something and then it gets more than like maybe like 30 retweets, I'm like, oh hell no, and I just mute it immediately because I'm like, I just know this is about to go to parts of the internet that it was never intended to be, and people are gonna come. I mean, especially the journalists, like, and especially like at the publication that I'm at, like, we're just like bait sometimes because people like to like try to dunk on us because we have like a very sharp, distinct voice, and I myself have a very sharp, distinct voice, so that pisses people off because women shouldn't talk. So
right, naturally, why would you do that?
Yeah, it's ridiculous. So it's just like, it's sometimes comes with the territory, especially when it's like a spicy op-ed or something, and it's like I tweet it out and I'm like, all right, here they come. But when it's just like something that I just like tweet off the dome that I wasn't even thinking about for real, and it goes viral, that infuriates me to no end.
I know. It's like, damn,
It's
I'm
like,
just
it wasn't
here trying to
supposed
get
to be
my
like
thoughts
this.
off. Right. Like,
Right.
please. Yeah. I can't help that I'm so popular. Okay. There's people on TikTok, of course, the known ones, who have had quite a few scandals, who know a lot about being the main character. I'm gonna like name the scandals and you tell me your thoughts on them. We could talk about them briefly.
Okay.
Monet and Jalen Noble's for a brief synopsis, it is Jalen is Monet's boyfriend, also an influencer in his own right. He went on to a podcast. He said something along the lines of, very much paraphrasing here, I don't remember what the man said. He said something like, he doesn't think it's fair that men are expected to pay for everything, that women's nails and whatever else it takes to upkeep as a woman. He doesn't think that's fair, and he doesn't think that being a man is equated with how much money you spend, blah 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 blah. He doesn't believe in paying for everything. He wants to go 50-50, some shit like that. His girlfriend, Monet McMichael, is probably one of the biggest TikTokers out at the moment.
Yeah, I think so. And she's beloved. I think that's the other part. Like, not only is she doesn't have like hate followers, I feel like. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like all of her followers really do adore her.
Because she'll be doing
and
nothing
her content.
but putting on makeup, looking cute,
But
doing little dances. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Doing her little swirl and thanking God for being here. That's really her main thing.
Right.
She should be like,
and getting her nursing degree, okay?
And getting her nursing degree for the girls, okay? And that's how could you hate Monet? Well, a lot of hate was brought to her front door following that comment. She dropped a perfume line right around the same time that this comment came out, and every time she tried to promote that damn perfume, it was just people on the comments like, yeah, big money, go support your nigga, like blah blah blah. And I'm like, oh my God. My thoughts on it were, it was just like I had nuanced thoughts. I had a few thoughts. It was like, Jalen, now you motherfucking knew better. And two,
right,
this is broke people's conversation because both of them have more money than we can really reckon with. So how they decide to distribute or do what with that money in their relationship is above our pay grade. We should all sit back, be quiet, maybe take notes. I don't really know. I don't have the money. So yeah, that was.
Yeah, I mean, my thing is, I feel like, you know what I thought was also really crazy was that, like, after that, after that podcast appearance came out of him, the other thing that happened was, like, the switch up was so quick. Like, her fan base really was just like, okay, fuck that nigga for real. Like,
Yeah.
the way that anytime he was in any of her pictures, was anywhere with her, they were like, oh my god, this nigga won't go away, like here he is again in the back, like, and I remember, I forget what press trip she went on, but she went on a press trip, and I forget where it was too, but it was like all women mostly, and then he went with her, and people were like, oh my god, this nigga can't stay at home, like, and I'm just like, I thought it was really funny, but also like kind of true, because I think it's interesting that they kind of have now, like, made that little transition as, like, you know, influencer couples do, where it's like now it's not just Monet like by herself, it's everything is Monet and Jalen, and I think that is really fascinating. But I also feel like you said, that man's house, at least the one that he was in, I don't know if they moved in together into the same into that same house, or if they like bought another apartment. I don't remember exactly. I know they live together now, but with that door window that goes all the way up, and his little porch where he did his cold plunge, that, I don't feel like he needs to be talking about any 50-50. I think that's crazy. But that's just me.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. That was more or less the thoughts. I didn't even see people responding to Jalen like that in her content, but that is very funny.
It was actually crazy. It was, a lot of it was happening on Twitter, but if you go on her like her Instagram, like in the comments, yeah.
They started very much giving him the Jay-Z treatment. Like, why
they
is
gave
this
him,
nigga
you know what else
always
they gave him?
here? What?
They gave him the Jonathan Owens treatment too. Because, you know, Simone Biles' husband.
Oh my God! So you have to reference him by that name. I don't know that man's name. I have no idea what his name is.
He's the catch, though, Sequoia. He's the catch. He's the prize.
Don't piss me off. And what does this tell you? Men need to stop going on fucking podcasts, and that's why I don't have any on this podcast a lot.
Right. I just think that, like, men with mics just, like, shouldn't.
Just
and that's
shouldn't.
like full stop. Full stop. That's the
Nothing good can come of this, as we've seen repeatedly, especially not for your relationship. Okay, we have some other hot tops that were going on in the TikTok zeitgeist a while ago. Fannita and Bria's initial thing. So, in case you don't know, Fannita is a creator on TikTok. She's like a comedy creator, I would say. And like she like just makes funny content. And Bria Jones is a lifestyle influencer across multiple platforms. I first found Bria on YouTube and then also found her on TikTok after that. She makes like beauty content, makeup, wellness, lots of wellness content from her. Bria, I guess in like late 2023, Bria was invited on a Tart brand trip in Miami for Formula One.
Isn't it crazy how Tart is always at the center of all of these?
Look at that, and just look at that.
Sorry,
very
continue.
interesting.
I just think that's funny that they're always at the scene of the crime, but
all behind fucking Tart. Yeah, so she was invited to a Tart brand trip in Miami for Formula One weekend. She came to find out that she was actually not invited for the Formula One race, and she thought that was a mistake. She reached out to the Tart team. They were like, oh no, it's not a mistake. Like, yeah, we would like to just have you for the first couple of days. She was like, oh, okay. Until she reached out to her friends who were also going on the trip, and they were staying through the Formula One race, which is like the event. And she was like, huh, that doesn't seem right. I would also like to point out that her friends who were invited were not black, and she is black. And so she felt the way about that, naturally, as anyone would.
Right.
She decided she wasn't going to go on the trip. She was not going to let Tart play in her face. Tart, in order to rectify this very public issue, invited Fannita, a non-beauty, non-fashion, does not talk about makeup on her page at all, girly, to this Tart, a makeup brand, trip. Fannita takes it up, goes And then all hell breaks loose. Everybody's like,
Mm-hmm.
Fannita, you gonna go take this other black girl spot when you seen what they did with her? And Fannita said, you bitches just as mad. This is my first brand trip. Y'all trying to make it seem like something that it's not. And then, and which is fine. I wasn't even mad at that part. I said, okay. I mean, hey, I wouldn't have done it, but who the fuck might? Nobody invited me to nothing. So, okay. It was when, it was the part when she got to Bria's lying. Bria yada when it was the tarts and the right Bria's lying, that's not even how it went shit. I said, Fannita,
Yeah.
stop. I want you to stop it,
Yeah.
please.
I
And since
know.
then, Fannita has continued to just
Yeah.
have poor
Mm-hmm.
public relations, should I say.
Public relations is the
Mm-hmm.
best way to put that, actually, because I used to be like, I actually used to stand Fannita so hard. Like, I loved her bad. Like,
Yeah.
she was just so funny and like so real. And then like, I think it's also sad that like this whole scandal also happened at the same time that a lot of people were criticizing her as well because she got weight loss surgery. So
Yeah.
I think it was like people were very upset that like her image was changing, like her aesthetic across like all of her content, as well as like then you get this next big step, which is this brand trip, but then it's like it's really not a fit. So it's like the criticism is valid, and
Yeah.
I think the way that she responded was all from a place of like, I feel like I deserve this. Why don't y'all think I deserve this? But again, like you said, I wouldn't have did it. But again, nobody or Tart didn't invite me to
Nowhere.
Miami, so I
Ever.
really have no say. But it just, yeah, it's been really sad like seeing her decline in a way. I don't want to say downfall because I feel like she's not down completely. Like she still has however many followers. Like she's still in LA, right? Like doing
I think
all
so.
her content stuff. Yeah, like she moved. Like she's still out here, but I just think it is really interesting how fast the script was flipped, and I think a lot of like her OG followers kind of like just took like a step back after that.
Yeah, it was definitely a shift in who we had perceived her to be,
Yeah.
and it
Yeah,
was
and I think especially
disheartening.
because like, yeah, I think especially because she's like, she was a plus size dark skinned girl. Like she was just like she didn't code switch for the app. Like
Yep.
she was really like for us. I felt like so it was then after the whole Tart thing happened. I felt like people were like, wait, because all skin folk ain't kinfolk, and I think we kind
Yeah.
of had to find that out the hard way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was kind of giving that, unfortunately. Hated to see it.
Me too.
If Fannita can get it back, right, I'm not
Yeah.
opposed. I believe
Listen,
in a little, what is it, restitution?
a little redemption arc.
A
Yeah.
little redemption arc. Yeah, I'm like, come on. All we need is a little redemption arc. We don't need nothing major, nothing
Right.
crazy.
No, for real, honestly. I think
Yeah.
I just need her to like also just take more accountability.
Another example of very interesting times on the internet is every white creator having a racist past that comes to the light. Huh.
Mm-hmm.
That's very interesting to me. I will even say I'm not even that surprised by it. I'm surprised that one, these people get this big. Alex Earl,
Yes.
Brooke Schofield, get this big and don't ever think to go back and delete any of their tweets as they get this fucking big. Alex Earl's one thing because it was her Ask FM, and like who would know how to
Right,
log
and
into
it's
their
like
Ask FM?
exactly, and I feel like that's
Yeah.
also one of those like relics, like the same way I was saying earlier about Vine. It's like I didn't have like the thought to be like, oh, let me go in and see what's on my
Yes.
Vine. Like I would, I never look. I'm about to go check right now,
Yep.
but
Right.
but like Ask FM is really one of those things where it's like, oh wow, you just like unlocked a memory, like. But
I'm
her
gonna have to go look.
response
Yeah.
was wild.
Yeah.
Alex's response was wild.
Wait, did she respond to the? Did she? Oh.
Yeah, she made a statement, and she was basically just like, "Oh, like." I'm paraphrasing here, but she was like, "I didn't know the meaning of the word. I didn't know that it was like I didn't feel like I never used it to like hurt anybody like intentionally. Like girl, the statement itself is so wild, and especially like if you grew up around white people, like it's just like gaslighting, right? And
gaslighting.
You sitting here talking about you didn't know that it could hurt people. What do you mean? Because y'all used the word when we were in school together as kids to hurt the black kids around you. Like, what do you mean? What are you saying? I don't understand.
Baby, we were there. We were
right.
there. I talk about this on the podcast. I think I've mentioned this before on the podcast, but the first time I was called a nigger with an ER was in kindergarten by a white girl named Kristen Nicole. She called me a nigger and told me I looked like her maid. Baby, I was there. I was present, yeah. And I looked like her maid was crazy. That was a crazy addition. I know white girls like Alex Earl. I went to K through 12 with white girls like Alex Earl. I know you knew what nigger meant.
Mm-hmm.
I know you knew what nigger. There was one time in middle school, this white boy said it in some capacity. I don't remember what. And by this point, I had been so tired of white people doing this foolishness. I literally lunged at him, and his black best friend, one of very few black people in the school, but his black best friend, this boy, like snatched me back and was like, Sequoia, he doesn't know what it means. Like, he doesn't know what it means. And I was like, you're lying.
Right. Like, I just think that is so, like, just categorically false to just
it's
say.
a lie. Like, why you say it to me then? If you didn't know what it was, why did you say it to me in particular? Why you didn't say it to Jimmy?
Right. Why you didn't say it to your friend? Exactly. That's crazy. That's, yeah. I call bullshit every time.
Yeah, I didn't realize that she had responded. Oh, and her allegedly copywriting her Ask FM. Now, this confuses me because it's like, she trademarked it. It takes a really long time to trademark something. And if her Ask FM, so one of two things had happened. She either had to be aware that this was out and trademark it a long time ago, or this is just a rumor that the internet has made up. Because I trademarked the name of this podcast and it took over a year to get that fucking trademark cleared and a lot of legal back and forth and all that stuff. And the trademark office don't give a fuck if you're Alex Earl or none of that. They got a billion trademarks. They do not care. So yeah, I'm not sure about if that's true. But yeah.
The trademark conversation is like really hot right now too, especially with everything that's going on with Jools and Demure. Yeah.
So for those of you who are maybe unfamiliar, a creator named Jools started saying, you see how I do XYZ thing? Very demure, very classy, very mindful, very cutesy.
Very intentional, very cutesy,
intentional. And it caught on as a trend. Obviously, Jools, she was being sarcastic, kind of. She was like, satire. She was poking fun at things. That caught on in a huge way. God, that sound was everywhere like less than a week ago. And then Jools made a video crying, saying that someone had trademarked Demure before she got the opportunity to, which, like Kaitlyn just mentioned, opened up a lot of talk about trademarking in general. Turns out,
apparently,
again, go for it.
No, apparently there was like another like user who had like trademarked it for her as like a hold, right? Like they had filed it.
Okay.
At least that's what I saw, and then they like got in touch and they were able to rectify it. But I don't know. I think everybody's still very confused about, and I think that's just another thing we're gonna see more and more of as like time goes on, as like these viral sounds, especially because like these companies latch onto this shit so fast. Like I feel like I did not see the last time I saw a blow up like this, like of like a colloquialism then making its way into like the corporate world was, I feel like as this fast was probably like when the Popeye's chicken sandwich dropped. Like, do you remember like when all of those brands just started like all talking about chicken sandwiches and like fighting on social media? I feel like Demure caught on so fast with those brands. Like because that they rely on social media to like make things relatable because they can't do it themselves. I think we're just gonna keep seeing this with more and more viral sounds, and it's just actually really tragic because I feel like the content creation is not something that has like a guidebook or a manual. Nobody tells you like the legality or like financial advising of it, so it's like people are just gonna keep getting caught up. Like, like that's what happened kind of with like eyebrows on fleek. Like
I was gonna say that.
She had to like really fight for that too.
Yep. They're going to
So
take
sad.
what they can get. Yeah, they're going to take anything that they can get their little hands on. Yeah, so somebody trademarking demure was not surprising to me, or somebody trying to
Right.
trademark it. But again, it takes forever for a trademark to go
Yeah.
through. So Jools, I think, could
Yeah, Jules.
have went ahead and made merch with demure on it and sold that shit up and through the actual acceptance of that trademark, and probably would have made a bulk of her money that way. She probably still can. Like, and they like researched the man who trademarked it, and apparently he tries to trademark a bunch of trending stuff all the time.
Wow.
And he abandons the application once it gets. He just abandons it. He tries to do it in that if it gets through without him having to pay any more attention to it, good.
Wow.
But if he has to do any additional work, which you almost always do
Yeah.
with the trademark thing, he just like doesn't do it. He just abandons it. And he's filing it himself without a lawyer. So there's just a lot more
Right.
mistakes that are likely to be there, which means you're probably going to need to go back and do it. He just doesn't. So he's doing it for the sake of doing it. She's good. She gonna be all right. She gonna be able
She
to make her
will.
transition. All the stuff is gonna be good. Happy for you, Jules.
She just did that little partnership with Netflix. She's good. She's good.
I know. I love that for her.
But like, you see how fast they're moving? Like, you see what I mean? Like, I just feel like they have never moved this fast before.
They haven't. They really haven't.
And I
It's
just find
shocking.
that fascinating. Yeah. And I'm
I think
happy
they're getting
she
hit.
deserves. You're right.
Yeah, because brands really be taking way too long to move on a lot of stuff all the time. By the time
Yeah.
a brand gets it, it's like old, tired, crusty. We're not interested. Actually, it's
Yeah.
disgusting now, and like,
Yeah.
But they were like,
Because that's
we're
what happened
gonna-
with Brat.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Yeah, they ran Brat. Yeah, they fucked.
Yeah.
Yeah, Brat was done. But yes. Oh, generational wars. As a zillennial, Kaitlyn, I also identify as a zillennial. Now that I turned 30, it's a little bit more cringe, but I also identify as a zillennial. How do you feel about the generational wars that take place between Gen Z and millennials specifically?
Jesus. It's actually like, so it's like when mom and dad are fighting in the house and you can't, like, you're like 9 and you can't like separate them. It's
Yeah.
actually so painful. And I think it's also really interesting to see like how millennials talk about Gen Z as if what separates them is literally not like in some cases, like with me who's a cusper and like you, like it's literally a gap of like 3 to 4 years, like if
No
that
time.
if
Like,
that.
no, very much.
Like, I saw somebody say today, they were like, why do y'all still care so much about what Gen Z thinks? Like, they can't even read or write. I said, oh my God. Like,
Baby.
they said they can't even write in cursive. I was like, first of all, I can write in cursive. Like, damn,
Baby,
please.
I was the president of the cursive writing club. Don't
Thank
play with me.
you. Like, come on. I can write in cursive right now. Like,
I'll bust it out. Calligraphy on that ass.
oh my God. But yeah, the generational wars are really, they're painful. They're really sad. And I just also feel like, I don't know. I think it's interesting though, like, even if we look at like Gen X, like the way that they use TikTok is so much different than the way that like I use TikTok. Like my mom, I always get on her for this because she'll always send me TikToks and they're
Mine
like
too.
3 minutes long. So
Yes.
they're like literally 2 minutes and 45 seconds. And I'm like, you think I'm watching all of this? Like,
Okay,
I'm
what speed do you
scrubbing at the
watch?
bottom. Like,
What speed do you watch TikToks in?
I watch at regular speed.
You
at
do?
I do. I know. I just found out the other day that most people don't watch them at the regular speed. But listen, I'm a scrub. One thing about me,
That's
I'm gonna
fair.
make sure that we're speeding through this. I'm like, okay, let's get to the gist. Come on, like. But she always sends me TikToks that are like just somebody talking in the camera, and it's like there's no subtitles,
No
and they're
good
just like-
lighting. Just like
Right.
somebody talking in the camera. I'm like, Mom, please tell me what is the gist of the video because I can't do it. Like, I actually can't.
Right.
She'd be like, you
Meanwhile-
need to watch it.
right? And I'm like, yeah, but could you also just like summarize it for me because I know
Please.
you already watched it. Like,
I beg.
meanwhile, all the ones that I send her don't have any type of like no slider at the bottom at all. Like everything
Right.
is within that 30-second, just
Quick. I definitely feel that. Generational wars have gotten to me, and this is how I know that my ass is a fucking millennial, because I be looking at Gen Z being like, and millennials, old asses. Have you seen that sound that's like from Tiffany New York Pollard, and it's like, do you know that you have 30 minutes 30 minutes. Yes, 30. That's exactly how I feel. Do you know just yesterday I was 22 years old and today I am 30? Baby, you have 30 fucking good ones before you are right here. Stop playing.
That's it.
Okay?
That's it.
Keep it cute
Like,
because you got no time before it's not going to be cute no more. Okay?
Yeah, the way that Gen Z be talk, I will say, like, they be real ruthless. Like,
Ruthless.
Because my brother is also Gen Z, but he's on the end that I think people talk about when they say, like, oh, they don't know how to write cursive. Like, because he just turned 23 in April. And, like, oh my God, he asked me the other day, like, how, I told him to put my phone passcode, like, in on my phone because I was driving. And it's a word, right? But, like, you know, it's a keypad.
A number,
He was like, I don't understand. Like, how'd you get a word from this? And I was like, what? What do you mean? And he's like, where do you see letters? And I said, what do you mean? Look at the, like.
Child, let me look because
it's there.
please.
I promise you, it's there.
I'm terrified right now.
I was like, what do you mean? What do I mean? Like,
right.
And I had to explain to him. He was like, wait, so how did y'all text back then? And I was like, first of all, back then is crazy.
Back then is crazy.
Right. Crazy. Second of all, what do you mean? Like, we just went back and forth talking to each other like, I don't understand. It was just two bitches looking at each other confused.
Saying exactly. Right. Very much. I'm devastated.
Yeah, it's really heartbreaking,
devastated.
Actually.
And this is when I really be feeling like a millennial. I'm like, oh my God, your ass is old. Your ass is actually old as fuck.
You know what else makes me feel old on TikTok though? Is when I see, just like in general, I feel like these kids really be dancing for real. Like, I don't know, the choreography, like the way that they make up these little dances, and me saying little dances, I sound like my mother, but
oh Lord,
like truly, I don't think I could ever have a dance credit on.
I can't
on TikTok because
I can't.
They latch onto it so fast. It's just like second nature almost. And I'm like, yeah, I don't have whatever that is.
I don't.
That y'all got. Where I can just learn it immediately. And
we have a job. We have cursive. Kaitlyn.
That's what we have. You're right.
We have cursive and a job. Okay, so
you know what? Amen.
I don't have time. I don't have the time to be learning the DC real hard, real quick.
I sure do not.
Even when I want to, I'll be looking at it like, damn, I think I could learn that one. Mind you, I can't dance for real. But I'll be looking at some of them like, oh, I could do that one.
See, and that's what I think bugs me out too, is because like I could do a little something. And like I was a theater kid. So like I know choreography.
You were a theater kid, Kaitlyn.
I was a very proud one too.
I love it.
So like I know how to get around a little, you know, step ball change, a 4 count, you know, it just but like I tried to learn the mamushi dance. No, immediely no.
Oh my God! It's a no. It's something about that hip rock. It's the same thing as how I can't Dougie. How I've never been able to Dougie. It's that moving your body one way but going the opposite way thing that I cannot comprehend personally.
Yeah, I will say the Dougie really be getting me. I do be looking like Gabby Douglas. That's true. I just be over there moving my shoulders because otherwise it's not happening.
I'm gonna hit the little suburban girl 2-step real hard. Because I can't do it.
No, the mamushi dance is hard though. I'm so sorry. Like absolutely not. I can't.
No. And kudos to whoever made that up because I don't have it for you. Yeah. The last thing.
Get somebody else to do it.
Get somebody else to do it because I can't. The last thing I would like to touch on, Kaitlyn, unless there's anything else you want to talk about, is the beauty trends on TikTok or just like the trends in general. A lot of the trends, again, our people are an influential people, okay? So lots of the stuff we've been doing since goddamn 1983 is new and revitalized for a non-black audience on TikTok, i.e. clean girl aesthetic, which was just that damn slick back bun, which every black girl I've ever met in my life has slick back bun as one of her core hairstyles. And brownie glazed
Promise you, when I grow my hair back out, it's coming back. Yeah.
Slick back, real middle part, bust down, slick it back. Yes, that's exactly what we're doing.
Get my eco styler out. Yep, that's it.
Saturate, brush, get some baby hairs going in the, that's exactly what it's going to be. And then brownie glazed lips when Hailey Bieber was doing just like a brown lip liner and some gloss. Yeah, babe, That's just what we've been doing. That's just normal. It's
I
weird.
forgot. I saw one the other day that was like, oh my god, I think it was called like Irish girl hair. Have you
I
seen
know
that?
exactly what you're talking about. Yeah, you talking about the braid, a
The
twist
braid
out?
out.
Yes. Like white women on TikTok are braiding their hair and then undoing the braids and being left with some waves, and they're calling it is it Irish girl hair something?
I think that's what it's called. Yeah.
Irish girl hair. Are y'all okay?
And I'm like, wow. I must be Io Debris at this point.
I promise you, I am the president of Ireland. Me and Io, we go together real bad. Me and
That's
Io
my cousin.
like this. We're sisters.
That's my cousin.
Right.
Because I don't understand. Like,
Guys,
just blank stare.
We can't be blink.
We have to be serious. Like,
we have to be fucking for real at some point.
I don't know. It's just, it's so upsetting. And I don't know. I do think it's interesting that, like, so much of this is just, like, cyclical. Because I feel like in, like, maybe 10 years, and who knows what TikTok is going to look like at that point. But I feel like we're going to see the same situation that we saw with, like, the Kim Kardashian boxer braids. I feel like it's going to happen again. Like, it's just going to happen again.
It is. It's so cyclical.
Nobody's listening.
No.
So it's just going to keep happening.
In fact, it kind of elevates people's clout levels when they do the foolishness. So they're listening and they're deciding to do it because they're listening. They're like, oh, the blacks hate when we wear cornrows.
Look, can I ask you a question? I want to know, how much of TikTok do you think is fake?
Oh,
of like TikTok
creation. I was literally gonna ask you that as well.
Because like when we were talking earlier about how, like, you know, you do anything to get the views, so much of it I just feel like is fabricated, and I feel like, I don't know, I just have a distrust, and I don't know if it's like the journalist in me or just like because I've been on social media for so long, but like I'm very much not a person who believes everything she sees or reads. So like I'm a fact checker. So for me, I think the thing that frustrates me the most about like TikTok specifically is that it's like whoever you come across on your For You page is a stranger. So it's like you don't know. There's nothing to fact check like behind. So you don't know if this is actually their lived experience or if, like, I remember one time like there was like this guy who recorded like his dog coming through his doggy door and then like 2 raccoons coming in right after. And he was like, oh my God, get out, da 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 da. And I'm just like, but you was recording. You was waiting for them to come through the door. Right. So how did you know they was coming through the door? Like, it was just, I don't know. There's just things like that. And I think I will say, and no disrespect to this lady, love her. I'm happy she's getting her things. I did not watch all of those many parts. It was giving like, you know, I'm not reading all that. I'm so sorry that happened to you, or I'm very happy for you.
Tisa.
Yeah, I think at first I really was just like, because my best friend and my mom, they got wrapped up into it quick. Like my mom was watching it, like the phone propped up while she was eating. Like and, and I was just like, she could be lying, y'all. Like
very much.
She could just be a great, fantastic storyteller, and I think she is. Just like period, she is. She's a fantastic storyteller. But I really did have some distrust at first, and I was like, I don't know.
I get that.
I don't know. Especially as somebody who, like, I write fiction as well. Like, I be coming up with stories in my head all the time. I could easily just get on TikTok and be like, you know what happened to me today, y'all?
Yep.
And none of that shit happened to me.
Right.
I don't know. Does that like mess with your enjoyment of TikTok? Because it messes with mine sometimes.
You know what? Like, that is a really good thought. That's a good thought experiment. I feel like the way my TikTok algorithm is set up, I'm mostly hearing from like experts or quote unquote experts, should I say.
Right.
Or people who are like sharing some information with me more than I'm hearing stories. Risa Tisa never even came up on my For You page because
she didn't come across mine either.
Yeah, it's not my genre. It's not my thing. Like I'm scrolling off of, because probably that same mistrust that you have. Yeah, I can't verify, this story. I don't know.
I think also I just tend to stay away from story times, like in general,
and that's for the most part.
That's just more of like my attention span is not there, where I'm like, okay,
same.
I'm not listening to all that. Like,
I think that Risa Tisa thing was 4 hours long, and motherfuckers sat and listened to all of it.
Like Wasn't it like 49 parts or something
like that? Maybe even more. Yeah, it was some ridiculous amount of parts. And I'm like, I really don't have the attention span for that. But generally, I'll be hearing from like experts and stuff, whatever. And oftentimes it'll be somebody in scrubs telling me something. And like you said, how can I verify? I can't see your credentials. I don't know. You just have one scrub.
They could have got them scrubs off Amazon Sequoia.
You know what I mean? Like, you could be just trying to get clout, just trying to make some money on social media. So you thought as the scrubs were like an investment.
Yep.
That scares me. And that does mess with my experience on TikTok, because if you can't get information, where the fuck can you go? That's what I want to know. Where can you go? If I can't trust the news, you know what I mean? If I can't trust the news because it's now not considered news anymore, it's considered entertainment because of how untrue a lot of the shit. Where can I get reputable information from? If I can't trust,
especially and especially because one thing about me, I use TikTok almost kind of like Google as well. It's my TripAdvisor.
I do.
What I mean? Whenever I'm going anywhere, I go straight to TikTok and I'll be like, let's say like Houston, things to do, Black people. And the way that the content that I need immediately comes up, putting Black people at the end of anything is like, that's my favorite little suggestion and hack on the
Absolutely.
Oh my God, on that app. But
Absolutely.
yeah, it's like if I can't check there, then what?
What is it?
What do we do?
You know what I mean? So yeah, some of y'all need to stop scamming on this damn app. I'm here trying to better my life, trying to be a better person, trying to get some entertainment, some information, infotainment, all those things, and y'all playing with all those things in scrubs.
Right.
Stop it.
Right.
Okay.
I also want to know. So you said your For You page is like mostly like experts and stuff. So like, what else comes? What is your algorithm? Like, what is the?
It's beauty. It's like beauty.
Okay.
It's just Black girls. Like, that's why all my TikTokers that I listed were just Black girls. Like, it's Black girls, it's beauty, it's fashion, makeup, especially. Been a makeup girly for a long time. Hair, and then wellness. Lots of wellness. A whole bunch of cold plunge this and sauna jacket this and blah blah blah. This is the
Aura ring. Yeah.
You know I got one of them. Okay, Aura ring that. It's just a lot of, oh my God, I started taking this supplement, berberine. Berberine was touted around TikTok.
Oh, I did hear about that. It was like the what do they call it? They call it Nature's Ozempic. Yeah.
They call it Nature's Ozempic. I did not have the expectation that I was gonna drop weight off my body like Ozempic did, right? I'm like, girl, I'm calling it this because it plays on the same whatever. GLP-1s, whatever. I'm taking it. And it's fine. It's going fine. I don't notice. I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, berberine's going fine. I look at the bottle of berberine and it says you're supposed to take 1 to 2 capsules 2 to 3 times a day, or 1 to 2 times a day, something like that.
Okay.
I had just been taking 1 capsule once a day.
Yeah.
So I decided to take 2 capsules at once, one time in a day. Kaitlyn, for the next 3 days, my bowels for the next 3 fucking days.
Damn.
It was just bad. It was bad.
You was beatboxing from below?
You know what I mean? It was really giving. It was extremely Dougie Fresh beatboxing. It was not cute. It was not cute. Be careful about what you decide to listen to on TikTok in wellness. I mean, that should go without saying. Duh. Right.
Okay. This is a cautionary tale.
But just once again, if you want to take berberine, don't take more than 1 capsule in a day. I don't give a fuck what the bottle say. Okay.
So do you use the TikTok shop? Because that's another thing that, like, again, I don't know. I can't bring myself to do it. Like, but then again, like, I don't know. It's weird. Like, you know how when autofill was like first introduced on like Google?
Yes. I did not trust that shit.
I did not trust that shit. I did not trust that shit. I was like, no, I'm manually putting in my name. Absolutely not. Every time. Now I'm an autofill girl. Me too. I've gotten lazy. I'm just like, no. Same. But the TikTok shop has not gotten me yet because I'm scared.
I've ordered a couple things. I have ordered a couple things off TikTok shop, but only from the brands. Like, I ordered a one size setting spray, but it was from one size, verified, whatever. Now, this one time I did order some makeup brush cleaner, It's like a machine that like you put your makeup brushes in and it spins and it's supposed to clean them.
Oh, I think I have that. But I didn't get it from TikTok.
I'm done.
I think I got it from Instagram. So
okay, well, fair. Mine didn't work.
Yeah.
So I don't know. TikTok shop can be a scam. It could be a scam. They didn't got my ass if it's a scam. My shit available on there, so
it just gives me like Temu vibes, you know? It's like I don't.
Yes, and that ain't got me. Temu ain't got me one time yet.
It won't be getting me
because
it
won't be getting me with that one. That one gives Walmart vibes too hard, and I hate a Walmart. If it's one thing I hate is Walmart. So
listen. One thing about me, I'm not gonna knock great value. Okay, listen. If
that's fair.
Listen,
I get it. It's not the great value.
Meet, then
it's just ugly. Walmart is ugly,
true.
But
that's fair. That's fair. That's fair. Yeah, that's interesting though. That so much of your TikTok is like your few pages, just like it's wellness and beauty, and like that's interesting. I feel like mine is just like all stupid shit, like
Tony Statovsky. Yeah,
it's like skits. I'm on Dog Talk. So like just like all the doggies, like all the doggy memes, everything. I get like DJ mixes. It's just like so random. Like it's just I get like I've been getting a lot of those dapping up tens videos. Love those.
Oh, I get those too. Do you get the balloon popping videos at all?
I used to, and then I think because I got annoyed and just like it's like okay, we won't give that to you anymore.
We won't give you the okay, we got it.
I get like singing videos. I get like some dancing, like I said. A lot of like pop culture stuff, but like food, travel, and just like dumb stuff. Like I don't know. I'm on like regionally. I'm on like Caribbean TikTok. I'm on New York Talk. I had dated this guy from Houston, so I'm on Texas Talk. Sadly, trying to get off of it. Just like
I'm done. So get me out of here.
Yeah, please. But I don't know. So one question I do have is: do you have many white people that come across your For You page?
Ooh, good question.
I was talking about this with a friend, and I feel like not really, unless like it overlaps with one of those niches. Like it's just like they're using like a sound or like. But my For You page is very black. Like
when I tell you, I had to go seek out Alex Earl because she simply was not coming to me, and everybody kept talking. Like I was seeing black woman after black woman being like, "Yeah, and Alex Earl, whatever," like saying something that she was referencing her.
Sorry to that woman.
To Monet. I said, "Who the fuck is this? Why y'all?
Sorry to that
who
woman.
Who are y'all talking about?"
And then when you saw how many followers she had, what were you just like?
I can't tell you how often that happens with a white person. I'll be hearing this name and I'm like, "What are you talking about?" I go, "Look, 10.7 million followers." I'm like. You're like crazy, really famous.
Right? Like, that shows you how vast the internet really is, because it's like never would have known. One of my coworkers, Ayana, she was the one who told me about Alex. I had never heard about her before that. Like
we be in two different again, that goes back to like how you can create your own echo chamber for real. It's two different internets. Every black person I talk to knows all the black influencers I'm referencing, or all the black. They've seen all the TikToks, like all the same stuff. They'd be like, "Oh yeah, I saw that one. Oh yeah."
Yep.
And then I'll be like, "Oh, it's a whole other side. Y'all be on here talking about what? Irish braids."
Right, exactly.
About? Right.
Exactly. Yeah, no, my For You page is very black and brown. Like it's all it's people of color, and then like Tony Scott.
Tony. And we love Tony. Tony is funny.
I love Tony. Tony, if you're listening, keep up the good work, man.
Big ups, you know what I mean? I know he dating a black woman. I don't know, but I just know.
Honestly, I agree with that for sure.
Yeah, I know. Sure. I know it. So that's all I had today, Kaitlyn. Do you have anything else you want to touch on about the Clock app?
Okay. I think my only thing is that my recommendation to folks will be, I did this for the first time the other day, and it was like the best thing ever. Me and one of my best friends, she came into town to visit. And we were like, we got our food, we like ordered our little dinner. We sat down, we was ready, and we were like, okay, what are we gonna watch? And we could not land on anything. We didn't want to watch a movie, we did not want to watch a TV show. We were both like at different parts in all the series we were watching. I was like, why don't we just like airplay your phone to the TV? And we just watched her For You page, and we just ate our food, and it was the best time. Like, I was like, why did I never do this before? So now I recommend to everybody, like, the next time you're like, oh, I don't know what to watch, put your For You page on the TV and just live your best life.
That is a really good idea. It's also a good way to, like, get to know the person that you're with. Like, obviously, you know your best friend really well, but it's like so interesting to see somebody else's For You page. It's like, oh,
Yeah,
wow, you're so
exactly.
cool. Like, you're just like me for real. Like, yeah, this is
Yeah.
very funny.
That to me like cemented that she was really my best friend, because I was like, wow, our For You pages are so similar. Like,
Yeah, I love
it
that.
was a great time. It was a great
I'm gonna
time.
do that with my partner. I'm
Yeah,
I'm
do
gonna
it.
tell him put your For You page up on there. Let's
see what you find out about him. Okay,
Let's see
Watch.
what's in there. Yeah. Well, thank you for joining, Kaitlyn. It has
Oh my
been
gosh.
wonder to have you.
Yes,
Please let the
thank you
folks know
so
where they can
much
find
for
you
having me.
on the internet
Ooh.
and like anything that you would like to plug if you have anything.
Well, nothing at the moment. I'm working on some stuff, so watch these spaces. But
Yes.
on across the interwebs, you can find me at Kate McNab, KaitMcNab. And my website is my full name, KaitlinMcNab.com. And yeah, I don't know. We moving, man. The 2024 is coming up to a close real fast. I don't know. It feels
It got somewhere to
kind of
be.
aggressive. Yeah.
Right.
But we moving and we shaking, and yeah, I'm always writing, so just watch those spaces.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, good to talk to you, Kaitlyn. And that's it. You can find me at BPLP Pod across all social media platforms. You can email me at blackpeopleloveparamore@gmail.com with hate mail, recommendations, thoughts, vibes, love, suggestions, or anything of the sort. Yeah. See you next episode. Bye.